I'm gonna record. Um, okay, before I start chatting, I'm gonna talk about um, adding, like expanding your market using Facebook. I'm not gonna talk about ads tonight. It's just gonna be like very simple steps that you can do now, whether you're like an old coach or a new coach, to expand your business. Expand your market. Does anybody have any questions at all or anything you want to chat about first before I sort of go ahead? No? Okay. I'm just gonna, where is everybody tonight?
Mackenzie.
What?
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. So again, if anybody has questions at all, just go ahead and unmute yourself, but I just muted everybody. First, I just wanted to do some Success Club shout outs for my personally sponsored coaches. So Camille is not on the call, but she is at Success Club 16, and I think she was in the process of signing up another one this evening. So she is doing very, very well this month so far. And there's a bunch of you guys at like 4 and 2, which is like awesome. And you know, just you're so close to getting to that 5 and beyond. So I'll just shout out Agatha, Sonia, Angela, Cindy, Karina, Kristen, Elaine, Linda, and Cassie are all sitting at either Success Club 2 or Success Club 4. So there's a huge amount of you guys that are super close. And last month we had a really good month with coaches hitting Success Club on like my team. And I want to keep that momentum up, and I want this month to even better. And I loved on, I don't know if you guys are all part of Team Rise Up, but it's like Michelle's coach's team, I guess, which we're part of as well. So if you're not part of Team Rise Up, I can add you in there. But today Brian did the whole Success Club announcements, and I loved that I had so many people on that list. Like that was just such a cool feeling that our team is like kind of like it's happening for our team. And I think that is awesome. And I want us to be the team that has coaches hitting Success Club and coaches rank advancing. I want us to be that team. So hopefully you guys are on board with me to do that and to do that this month. So let's just like really focus on what our goals are, and we can 100%, every one of us can get there. The process is the same. The process is the same for everybody in this business. There isn't something that I have to do that you guys don't have to do, or that a coach that signed up yesterday is doing that a coach 3 years in the business isn't doing. Everybody's doing the exact same things. It's just there's some people that are doing it consistently and are doing more of it. That's the only difference. Because we all have to do the exact same things, and they're very simple things, but not everybody's going to do them consistently, and not everybody's going to, you know, put their heart into it. And maybe someone's only going to send out 1 message instead of 10 messages. So that's the difference. But we all have to do the exact same things to be successful. Even Lindsay Matway, she's doing the same things that we need to do. She's not doing anything different. She's just doing it consistently and doing a whole lot more of it. So trust that process. Trust what we tell you. Trust what Michelle tells us in the live videos. Trust Coach Basics. Trust any of like the push groups you've ever been. If you were in, you know, the Push to Diamond group that we did a couple months ago, you know, trust that whole process. Because if you hustled in that Diamond group, you would have gotten to Diamond. Like you would have. I did one myself and I got my ass to Diamond. If there's a Push to Emerald group, get in there and do the work and you'll get to Emerald. So you have to trust what's being given to you and do it, and it will work. So I'm going to go over a few steps to expand your market using Facebook. And these are very, very simple things that don't take a lot of time. So it's going to seem so simple when I tell you, but it might sort of open your eyes to like, oh, okay, I could totally be doing this and I'm not doing it. So the first I'll talk about just quickly why we all need to be expanding our business. And if you've been in this business for a while, you probably know, because if you haven't been expanding your business, you've run into a bit of a wall. You've realized like, okay, I'm talking to the same people and I'm following up with the same people and I don't even have anybody more to invite to. Same people are liking my posts and commenting on my posts. You're at a dead end. You're not going anywhere. So it is so important that we are always adding to our network. And you need to do this right away. The sooner you start doing this as a coach, the better. Because the thing is, the people who you are adding into your network this week, odds are they are not going to be interested for a couple months from now or even longer. The odd person is going to be interested right away and is going to be like, yep, oh my gosh, sign me up. I want to get a challenge pack. But the majority of them are going to take months and months to come around. So you don't want to wait a few months into this business before you start adding to your network, because in 6-7 months time, you're going to be at a dead end, and these people that you've just started adding in, they're not going to be ready. So that's why we see a lot of coaches, hit Success Club in their first few months, and then all of a sudden it's like done. And then they just are like at 0, 0, 0, or 2, 4, and not really, nothing happens. And then you start seeing it climb again, because you can tell those people realized at their first month of hitting Success Club 0, shit, I need to add to my network. But it took that long for those new people to trust you, because that's what this is, right? People are not going to invest $184 if they don't trust you and if they don't like you. Like that's just the reality of it, right? Like they have to really feel connected to you. They have to like you. They probably even want to be like you. That's what social media is. It's attraction marketing. So they see something in you that they're like, oh man, like I want to do what she's doing. I want to feel like her. And she just looks like she's feeling so awesome. That's how I want to feel. So it takes them a while to see that and to trust you. So I hope that I kind of made that clear of how important it is to start adding to your network. Like if you haven't been doing it, start tonight after this call, because it's the most important thing you can do for your business. All it takes is adding 3 new people a day to your network. That's the minimum, right? If you are like a go-getter, you're going to do more than that. But if you're just like wanting to take this at your own pace, I would say 3 for sure. But again, I would never stop at 3 personally, ever. And I never have. I've always attempted to add at least probably 20 people to my network a day. So you do that every day for 2 weeks. You do that every day for a month, 2 months, 3 months. You can see how big your network is going to grow. And not everybody's going to stay as your friend, right? Some people are going to unfriend you. Some people are going to block you. Like that's the reality. So if you're only adding 3 a day, not everyone's even going to accept your friend requests. So it's back to that numbers game, right? So the more you add each day, and I'm not saying go on start adding the world, because you're going to go to Facebook jail for sure if you start adding too many friend requests, but and don't be adding just to add either. So I'm going to go into that a little bit. So start with your warm markets friends. The best thing to do is to start with your husband. If your husband's on Facebook, or if you have a spouse, start with their friends on Facebook. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm actually not going to go into my husband's, just because I've already done it. I've done that before. So where do I want to go here? Desktop. Okay. Oh gosh. Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah, you're good, Megan.
Okay, thanks. I was like, I can't hear you. Okay, so what I'm going to show you, and this is what you can do with your husband. You can do this with one of like your closest friends, because odds are these people that you're going to friend request, they might already know you. It's just you're not friends on Facebook. So you have a mutual, very close friend. So it's not going to be like totally crazy that you're adding them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into my recently added friends and just pick somebody. So, okay. So this girl right here, Ashley. So she was someone that I just added to my network today, or yesterday even, I can't remember, but we've actually been chatting quite a bit. And I'm going to go to her friends list. Okay, actually, no. I'm going to go, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. This is something you can also do too, but I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to my husband. Whoops. And basically his whole wall is filled with like my stuff that I've tagged him in. So I try and tag him in any posts that have to do with like the kids and whatnot, so that I can get people from his network liking my post, so then I can friend request them that way. But another thing you can do is go into friends and then people you may know. So here's like a bunch of like people that I may know that Facebook has suggested for me to start adding. So like most of them are men, because I've already like gone through this list quite a bit, but you can do that to your spouse and go to the people you may know and add 3 friends, just like that. So that's people that you probably already do know, but you're just not Facebook friends with. So then I'm going to go back to that one girl. So once you start adding some people to your network and they accept your request, what you can do then is, like, let's say this person was a friend of my husband's and I added her. Then I can go to her friends list and I'm just going to pick like 3 people from her friends list that I think that I would want to be friends with, right? Like I'm just going to like, okay, yep, for sure. She just had a baby. I'm going to add her as a friend. I want to be friends with her. She looks nice. She's got a toddler. I'm going to add her. And anyways, you guys get the idea, right? So that is something that everybody can do. Okay, I got back. Does that make sense? Is that something that you guys do at all? Like raise your hand if that is something that you've done, or if that's like some new information. So you guys are all doing that already. Okay, so that's awesome. So hopefully, so like, are you guys all adding to your network every day? Yeah? Okay, so that's good. Excellent. Okay. So it's so important that we also are adding people. Oh, Angela, do you have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So no, I'm not doing that. So I need to start. But these are people you're adding to your personal page, right? Not your like page or your group page, or just your personal page.
Yeah.
Then you kind of just start chatting with them, chat. And if they show some interest in like some workout things, then you may leave them there or push them to one of your other pages, or how?
Yeah. So that's why it's important for, your personal page to have something on it that's going to make them want to become your friend. Because as soon as you send a friend request to somebody, they're going to go look at your profile to say, well, who is it sending me a friend request? So you always want your profile page to look inviting. You have things there that people are going to be like, okay, I'll add her as a friend. Like, I'm kind of interested in her post, and because they're going to take a few scrolls. That's just what we do as humans. So that's why it's important for our storefront to look good. And then what I do, like maybe twice a week, is I will then go into all my new friends that have accepted, and I'll add them into my support group.
Okay.
So I do that like twice a week because I
Mhm.
figure if they still are my friend, like if they accepted my friend and they're still my friend a few days later, then I'll add them into my support group. So I'm not messaging them. It's not like I'm getting a friend. It's not like they're accepting my friend request and I'm messaging them right away. I'm not. I'm just letting them like chill and hang out. And I'm going to go into a little bit of how I track or how we, because I'm not very good at that, but how you could track all these new ads so that
Okay.
you can start building relationships with them.
Okay.
Okay. So it's important to
You're just adding them right.
say that again.
Sorry. So once you like friend request them and they hang out for maybe a week, you're just inviting them. Like you're not sending them a message saying, "Hey, would you mind joining my group?" Like you just add them to the group.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to do it that way. I used to like send them each a message, but now for the most part, my people are coming from my like page. So I've already messaged them. So it's just a little bit different, but honestly, you have to sort of go with what feels right to you and what works for you. There's no like set way, like message them and then add them in or invite them to join. Like there's no way. Just go by what works. And if what you're doing isn't working, then switch it up and do something else. But yeah, I just found that if they're hanging out on my profile for even a few days, then I feel like they're not going to mind me adding them into a group because they already see that I am into health and fitness. I'm not that I'm selling something, but I'm kind of in that market. It's kind of clear. So I don't think it's like any big surprise that now I'm going to add them into another group. And by then, hopefully they already are like, this chick's cool. You know, she works out every day. She's got kids. Like, hopefully they feel a connection to me by then so that it's okay that I added them in. Okay. So you want to, when you're picking these friends that you're friend requesting, you really want to, I think a picture can tell a lot, right? So look at these people and just kind of ask yourself, is this someone that I do want to be friends with? Like, you know, because there's all kinds of crazy people out there, right? That we just don't want to be adding them all to our network. Trust me, I've done that. When I was running an ad for the very first time on Facebook, I didn't know what I was doing. And I literally added tons of people into my network that I just want out of my network because they're not my people. That's just like, so you have to, you know, think about who you're friend requesting because this business is a lot more fun when you are chatting with people who you actually like. Like it's hard having these back and forth conversations with people where you're like, oh my God, come on. Like, but if you are actually enjoying conversing with them and you feel like you're friends, then it's enjoyable and you're not annoyed and you're not like, okay, come on, like, let's get this over with kind of thing. Like you're friends and you're chit chatting. So that's when this business becomes super fun and not like, oh God, I've got to go do my follow-ups and I've got to reach out to people. You want to because you feel connected to them. Okay, so that was my first tip. Start for friend requesting people that are friends with your friends already. Facebook groups. This is something that I've talked about a lot, but I did sort of learn some other helpful tips with Facebook groups. So when I say Facebook groups, I mean like, you know, there's all those mom groups that you can join and like dog lover groups and like travel groups, all those sorts of groups. So I suggest getting your butt into some of those groups if you're not already in groups, but make sure it's groups that are relatable to you. Like I'm not going to go join like a craft group because I hate craft. So I don't even want to pretend to connect with people who are like scrapbooking lovers and like I'm not even going to pretend to go in a group like that. So
Hey Megan.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you mind recording? Oh, is it recorded? Oh, I see now it's recorded. Sorry, I have two coaches that can't get on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's okay. I made the mistake of joining a group when I first started coaching, and I heard one of the top coaches did a call on this, and I was probably like 2 months into the business. So I was like, all right, I'm going to join a bunch of groups. So I requested to join a bunch of groups, and one of them was a natural organic mom group. So I was like, perfect, get me in there. Well, I went in there and I made a ton of connections and got them into my network. Well, my God, we did not click. Like these, like organic, I'm all for it. I'm all for healthy, but like they were just hardcore organic and hardcore natural. And that's not me. Like I love Lysol to clean my kitchen. And, you know, I did the cloth diapers, but it didn't work. I'm like all for disposable wipes and shit like that. So that I was like, okay, it's important that you're joining groups that you know, are actually passionate about. So I was part of like a breastfeeding group, which I got a ton of people from that breastfeeding group, just making connections. So what you want to do in these groups, of course, you're not going to go in there and say like, hey, everybody, I'm a Beachbody coach. Like, come join me. Not at all. Never, ever, ever do anything like that. But you're going to go into these groups and you're going to add value to people. So you're going to check out what people are posting. You're going to comment on people's posts. You're going to offer suggestions and feedback. And you're going to go in there and you're going to ask questions yourself and post things that you like actually need some advice on. And when those people start conversing with you, it's natural just to send them a friend request to get connected a little bit more on a deeper level, right? And then what you can do is you can be really strategic with the things that you post in these groups. So for instance, I did a post a long time ago in one of the groups, like when I first started, and it was about sleep training because I actually legitimately was trying to sleep train like one of my kids. And I just went in there and I took a picture of like the baby, and I said something about like, I'm so excited. I had wanted to read this silly sleep training book for the last month and I kept putting it off. And finally I read it this week. And what do you know? He slept through the night. So what does that do? That creates interest. People are going to be like, oh my God, what book did you read? What did you do? How did you get him to sleep through the night? Blah, 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 blah. The easy thing would to be, oh, it's called the Sleep Easy solution, right? But instead, you send them a friend request and you can comment, something like, I just sent you a PM, and send them a private message and just say, oh, I'm so excited. So this book is called The Sleep Easy Solution. And, I was totally skeptical, and just go into a little bit of detail about it, right? How's that for connecting with somebody? And I give these examples because that's my market and that's just my life. So figure out something relevant to you and what you like, how you can use that, but obviously not necessarily babies and sleep training. And what that does is it connects you to this person. And then you start asking them like, well, how old are your kids? Like, are they sleeping through the night? And that's all it is. It's just, you made a connection, right? So very simple, but it's just making connections. The thing to keep in mind, that person's not going to buy a challenge pack that day. So you have to invest time into all these relationships, but it pays off because those are the people that are going to be amazing challengers in your challenge group because they're connected to you and they trust you. And then those are the people that are going to become a coach on your team for the exact same reasons. You guys have such a strong connection and they see what you're doing. They're going to just want to do it with you. So another thing that you can do in these groups, and I'm going to sort of use the whole mom group thing too, but again, like you can use this in whatever group that you are part of. You could even post a transformation. And, for anybody who like, Camille's not on here, but I know she just recently had a baby. So what she could do, for instance, is I know she's part of a lot of mom groups. She could go into a mom group and post her transformation and just say something like, oh my gosh, I'm 3 months post baby and I did not think that I would get those 10 pounds off. And I'm so happy that I did. And then people are going to be like, how did you do it? blah, 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 blah. And you're not going to be like, oh, I used the 21-day fix and the portion control and blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. You're just going to send them a message and say, or send them a friend request. And you can write in the comment something about like, I just sent you a friend request. If you want, I'll share my meal plan with you. And then you message them and you have a meal plan, because like we can come up with a quick weekly meal plan that's not 21-day fix. It's not like container system. That's just like a generalized what we eat. And you can send that to them. And then you can say, how old's your baby? Like, are you struggling too? And you don't even have to bring up Beachbody at all. But because she hopefully like accepted your friend request, she's just going to start seeing your stuff over the next few days and months. And so does that make sense? It's simple things like that, but that's how you start connecting with other people without having to pay any money. These are free ways, but these are the things that successful coaches are doing. That's how they're building their network with people that they're really connected to, instead of just the random friend request, which trust me, I did it for like the first huge chunk in my business because I didn't know any better. But this is a way to really hone in on specific people without ever becoming like salesy, because we don't want to become that, right? Okay. So then my other thing is free groups, which of course I am like the biggest lover of free groups. I have maybe missed like 2 months of running a free group in this whole like Beachbody career of mine. Yes. Okay. So if you find that your warm market isn't very big, like if you haven't had a lot of success with your warm market, free groups are going to be key to you. Like if you're not hitting Success Club, if you don't have a challenge group, like a paid challenge group to run, then you should just start running free group after free group after free group. If you do like 2 a month or even 3 a month, that's what you need to do to start building relationships. And I'm going to go over some ways of how you can add to your network from these free groups. So instead of, when you post about your free group, instead of saying, comment below if interested, or send me a PM if you're interested in joining, instead say, if you want to join, tag 3 friends. That's it. And then they're going to have to tag 3 friends. Make it a requirement. If someone comments like, ooh, I want to join, send them a message or just comment, okay, make sure you tag 3 friends. And then if they tag 3 friends, you go to each one of those friends, you send a friend request, and you send them a message and say, Elaine thought that maybe you'd be interested in joining my free, Miracle Morning group. Were you interested? And then who knows what she might accept your friend request. She might not. We can't control any of that. But if you do that to all 3 of those people, and then the next person that comes in and says that they want to join and they tag 3 people, all of a sudden you have like grown your network quite a bit from that. Okay. Same thing with like a recipe. So for instance, tonight I just like quickly took a picture of my dinner and posted that. And I could have potentially said, because I had a bunch of people, like I just kind of assume people know how to make chicken fingers. Like it's like breadcrumbs and chicken. Like it's, sorry, that's really mean. But I was like, so I'm surprised. And I'm even getting like messages like, how did you make those? Anyways, what I could have said was, want my recipe for homemade chicken fingers? Tag a friend below and I'll send it to your inbox. I could have done that. And right there, I could have gotten, who knows, 20 new connections or 50 new connections. Who knows? So that's what you can do with recipes. You can do that twice a week, or, create a meal plan and say something like, who wants my meal plan for the week? Like on Sunday afternoon, I just finished my, 7-day meal plan for the week. Anybody want it? Tag a friend below and I'll send it to your inbox. Done. Do those make sense? Does that all help? Okay, so those were my sort of 3 different ways. So again, friending friends that you already know that you're just not friends with on Facebook, if that makes sense at all. And then going into groups and connecting with women in a strategic way, plus running free groups or sending free stuff to people, but having them tag people for you to friend. So those are my 3 ways. Tracking new friends. This is something that if I had known about in the beginning, I would have been all over, because I love being organized. Now I almost feel like I'm just like, I could start it and I should start it. But I think if, especially anybody new in this business, this is like so good for you to start doing. I'm going to share my screen again and show you guys. And I did actually start doing this a couple months ago. So I'll be able to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. So what you can do is over here, first off, I'll just show you guys that if you guys are in like a ton of groups, because obviously you are, because you're a coach, you're in a lot of groups, what you can do is put these like in your shortcuts. So I have like specific groups that I want to be able to just click on very quickly. So like my support page, the 2 team pages, this is like my little, do you guys want me to show you this? Because this is a group that I made, and I know I've talked to a few of you guys about this, but this is a group that I am only the member of. There's one member. I started this up when I first started coaching, and what I started doing was I put scripts in here in the file section. So that is where I started storing all my scripts that I needed to have. Like, I mean, I've got tons of different scripts. I've pretty much given you guys all the really good ones. But what I do when I am reading my personal development, or if I'm listening, does somebody have a question? Oh, if I'm listening to
Megan, I'm just wondering, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering, when you go in here, I tried to do this the other day and it said I had to add a member. So
yeah, you
can add yourself?
Well, no, you have to add somebody, and then you can just delete them.
So did you add your husband or something?
Yeah,
or?
I added my husband, and then I just deleted him.
Okay, thank you.
I use my email.
Oh, yeah. Or like add me and then just delete me, or I'll just delete myself, whatever. But yeah, you just need to add somebody, and then as soon as the group's created, you just delete them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So whenever I see a good post, or like this morning, I was listening to that podcast that we got as our Success Club prize last week, and I haven't finished it yet, but he said something about like going uphill. Like if you want to go uphill in life, you can't have downhill habits. To me, that I was like, I can create a post out of that. That's amazing. So I quickly, with my phone, I just went into this group, typed that in, and pressed post. So that maybe in like 3 weeks from now, when I don't have a post, or maybe this weekend, I can come in here and just like grab an idea. This is something that I took from like another coach that I follow, and I just quickly copied and pasted it and put it in here. So I'm not gonna post that because that's completely her, but I'm gonna take that idea. So I do this all the time. Like I take posts that I see and I throw them in here, or just ideas that come to me, because I'm constantly coming up with posts in my head. But if I don't write them down or put them somewhere, they're gone. So I always just put them in here. So you'll just see like random things, like, yeah. Anyways, it's sort of like my little journal, basically. Okay, but what I was gonna say to you guys is you can put all these little shortcuts, so all your groups right here. So it's very easy to go in at the end of the day and just like check your team pages, check your support group, and all that kind of stuff. But what I wanted to show you is if you go into Friends List, so underneath Explore, if you go to Friends List, you can create a list. So clearly I started this in April and have never done it since. So in April, I decided I'm going to start doing this, and I did not follow through. But what you could do is create a list, call it June Friends. And every person that accepts your friend request, and you can kind of do this like every few days or like on Sundays, this could be your thing, is that everybody who accepted your friend request in the month of June, you add to this list. And so what you can do then is you can go into that, and it's only going to show you a news feed full of those people. So you can just go ahead and like, yeah, I'm going to like that. I could even comment like, oh my God, this is so cute. And this is how you just start building relationships. You just see people's stuff and you like it. Like, you don't get overly creepy, but like that's super cute. I'm going to like it. Right? And the more stuff that you are liking and commenting of other people, the more stuff that's going to show up, the more of your stuff that's going to show up in their newsfeed. So what that will do is, by doing that, they're going to start to see your stuff. So hopefully they're going to start to like your stuff as well. And that opens the door, like I always say, for you to connect with them. If someone likes your posts, that's an open door, in my opinion, to send them a message and just thank them for liking it. That's all. If you're scrolling through those little interest lists, because I also have one for like UK people that I'm trying to put all my UK friends in so that I can easily, scroll through and creep them. But if I see something that I like genuinely, like maybe you want to message them and be like, oh my God, okay, where did you get that stroller? Or like, I just saw you guys were on vacation. Where was that? That hotel looked amazing. Send them a message like that. So as you can see, all this stuff that I've talked about tonight, I've never once talked about like inviting to a challenge group or inviting to coaching. Like, it's just all connecting. The challenge group stuff just comes naturally if you're doing a really good job of sharing on your social media. If you're doing a really good job about sharing this lifestyle and putting jabs out there all the time about what we do and how good we feel and how easy it is, like not easy, but like how you can do it too. And, you can also get results following this eating plan, and this shake has changed my life. By doing all of that they're just going to be interested because they already really like you. They already feel connected to you. Okay. Does that all make sense? Okay. Any questions? No. So we had the sneak peek last night. Sorry, not the sneak peek, the live webinar. If you guys if you watched it and you weren't a coach, like, was there anything that you found was lacking, or like any feedback at all?
Megan, I thought you guys were a lot laid back, a lot more casual than this than you were the first time around. And you guys were just, it all came so natural to you guys. Like, you were fantastic. Like, I thought the conversation just flowed, and Michelle said something, then you said something, and I thought it was great. For new people coming on, I thought that was fabulous. I really did.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's awesome. Cassie, did you have something to say?
Yeah, just like how you guys do your personal stories at the beginning. I think it helps people relate to you guys, because my friend, who I've been talking to her about this for like months, just bought a challenge pack last week, and literally after watching you guys last night was like 100% like, I want to be a coach, because I feel like Megan felt when she started, and I need to like get out of that. And I think it really helps like to see that you guys have your own personal struggles and why you got into it and what it's done for you. I think that was good.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome feedback. So who invited to this live event?
I did.
Awesome.
And then I did a live video on my personal page, and I just shared, about Peak, and then I put the link to the group in the comments. So I said, if you're just on Facebook and you just want to join in at 9:00, click the link. So all of a sudden, when I was watching it, I kept seeing people populate. And they were my people. And it would say, so-and-so joined. So as soon as I saw that, I just jotted their names down, like on a piece of paper. And afterwards, I just sent them a message. Hey, I just saw that you popped on to the webinar tonight. That's awesome. What piqued your interest? You know, have you thought about coaching? And so it's really opened up a lot of conversations.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did anybody invite but had no one join? Or, yeah, you did? Okay, but you still invited. So how many did you invite, Tammy?
I had 3 invitations out for that, for 3 really good ones. And they're still talking to me about it, but I gave them, sent them the link because it was recorded. So hopefully they watched it. So
Yeah.
all you can do, right? But
And that's the thing.
I just don't know if they've watched it yet.
Yeah, and people can be added into that anytime. Like, you know, if you have someone in 2 weeks that you want to add into it, you can. Like, that group stays open, that live webinar is there. And so that's the cool thing about it too, is you can just add them in at any time. So what I think is interesting is that the majority of people who did invite had people go on. So if you didn't invite, like, how are you know, if you're wanting to build a team, if you're wanting to do this business, but you don't invite to something like that, you're never going to grow a team. So it's so scary. Like, we make it scary inviting to something like that, but it doesn't have to be. It's just reaching out and just sharing it very casually. Did you want to join? Are you interested at all? I think we overthink it and we make it into us like such a big deal, and we think we've got to be successful before we can ever invite someone to join us. And you don't. You are never going to be responsible, like, solely. If you're a newer coach, or if you have never signed up a business builder and you're thinking like shitting your pants, like, yeah, but what am I going to do if they actually want to join? That's what I'm here for. Like, I will help you do that. So if that's what's holding you back, because I know that held me back. Like, I was thinking to myself, I hardly know what I'm doing. I have questions all the time. What am I going to do if I sign someone up and they have these questions? I'm not going to be able to support them. But that's why you have an upline. And I'm more than happy to help you mentor that coach. And if it becomes a point of me mentoring both of you, so who cares? It's what I do. So definitely don't hold back for a reason like that. But if you have goals with this and you're not inviting to it, you're not going to rank advance. You're not going to build a team. So you just got to just start, because odds are they'll be interested. If you invite enough people, someone's going to be interested. And if you're connecting with the right people. Karina, did you have a question?
I was going to say that's what was holding me back. I mean, I've only been at it for 6 or 8 weeks or something, but I was so scared. Like, when my first person said that they wanted to buy Shakeology, I was like, I have no idea how to sell it to you. I think that's great that you want to buy that. I don't know. I'm going to have to call Megan because I have no idea how to sign you up. But now that I've just done it even just a couple of times, I'm way more comfortable with it now. I wanted to ask you something about my, I made a like page today. And so I got a bunch of people that liked it, but they're all my friends already from my friends list. And so I'm wondering, do I send them a message that says, like, I noticed that you liked my page and thank you, and do you have any health or fitness goals that you're working on or that you'd want to chat about? Do I send that to those people?
Yeah, you can, for sure. And even ask them, what would they like to see? What would they like to see you post? What kinds of things are they interested in seeing? That's sort of a great way to just start having conversations, and for you to get feedback about what people actually do want to see on a page like that. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, guys, any other questions? hopefully that was helpful and gave you some tips you can implement. I like action items. Okay, well, you guys have a good night and we will talk later.